So, essay style is the next thing which you really need to master in order to produce the perfect area of study essay. So there are a number of sub-elements which we really need to examine in order for you to have a sophisticated and really solid essay style. So, the first question which you must ask yourself is, am I going to be using first person or am I going to be using third person? Now, third person is a requirement of formal style, so it's definitely what you want to be leaning towards. This means that you're going to be saying things like, one can see that, rather than you can or I can. So it's really stepping out of the essay and allowing the essay to speak for itself rather than transferring your own personal views through language. So while first person isn't necessarily used in most essays, first person or third person can be used if it asks for a personal response. So this is if the question is specifically asking for your view on your area of study. And that's obviously where in the exam, you snap into action and switch into your first person response. Second issue is grammar. Now, it's really important to be accurate with grammar because while it's something which we often forget and which we think is only for primary school students and unimportant, it's something which is really so important in the foundation of your essay. Because if you use incorrect grammar, the marker is really going to take notice and deduct marks possibly based on the sophistication of your style. So this means that you need to choose between past and present tense and then maintain this throughout. So for example, if I open my essay with Shakespeare uses, I'm going to be sticking with Shakespeare uses throughout the essay. If I open it with Shakespeare used, I'm going to be sticking with that throughout the essay. However, present tense is preferable because it's a more sophisticated way of expressing the way that while the author itself might be dead, the techniques in the text remain timeless and still relevant. So that's why you want to be sticking with the present tense. The third issue is sentences. Now, there are a lot of issues within sentences which you need to be juggling at once, and while they may seem to be contradicting each other, it's really important that you master this sentence style. So you want to be using sentences which are varied in length. So a short sentence, then a long, then a medium, then a long, then a short. This provides a bit of variation in your paragraphs which you're producing, and make sure the marker isn't bored reading your paragraphs due to the fact that it's just one same sentence produced over and over again. However, if you do have problems with accuracy in expression, you should definitely shorten your sentences because this provides a really easy way of increasing your clarity and therefore getting your ideas across to the marker. You want to be using things like dashes, colons, and semicolons. This is examples of punctuation which can clear up your ideas and can reduce long sentences and provide more ample meaning to the marker. You don't want to be using ellipsis, which is the ... and also things like parentheses, which is the brackets, because this is an indication that perhaps your essay isn't as formal as it should be, and that you're resting on an informal and conversational style. You also want to be asking yourself whether you're going to be using an essay approach which is integrated or block in style. Now, you've obviously never heard of these styles, and in later videos we're going to be examining how exactly you write these in proper detail. But basically, to summarize, block essays mean that you're looking at one text per paragraph in an integrated and logical fashion. So for example, you're looking at text 1 in your opening paragraph, text 2 in your second paragraph, and then text 3 in the next one, and then perhaps repeating that all over again. So it's splitting up your texts and studying them separately. This is obviously contrasted to your integrated approach. Now, your integrated approach is where you're looking at multiple texts in one paragraph. So as a student, you need to decide which of these approaches best suits your essay style. It's not recommended that you use the integrated response until you really have mastered that style with a lot of practice essays, because it's quite difficult to achieve and can lead to waffling, poor structure, an untraceable argument, and also a lack of detail. Basically, because you're trying to juggle so many texts within the one paragraph, you're not getting the textual detail, the quotes, the language techniques, and the effect, which we've discussed. It's quite difficult to get all three of these factors for all three texts in one paragraph. You've just got too many competing ideas, which is going to make your clarity non-existent.